All right, ladies and gentlemen, what's up? What's up? What's up? This is episode 48 of the Top Rope Boys podcast. Like always, it's your man with a plan. Actually, I'm not the man with a plan. That's Reek. But it's the EST, the DMV, Chocolate City Saint, the left hand of destruction, the potter of all worlds, the Bajan bulldozer, the Cameroonian nightmare, 301's golden son, the G
Well, that's a
Town
new
giant.
that's a new one. I think there's two new ones right now.
Those are old. Like if low key, it's like if you listen to my music, you hear me call myself that all the time. But yeah,
Keep going, keep going.
I'm a stereo negro, and Vaughn's not here, so you're gonna have to get the last one, Sears.
Steph Freakman Rollins.
There we go. And like always, right here with me, I got my Oracle. I got 1/4 of the best stable in all of wrestling podcasting. Oracle, what's up with you? Sears, how you feeling?
As always, I'm tired. I'm on call yet again. Well, I feel like anytime we record, I'm on call at this point.
Yeah.
Day 4 of 8 in a row.
Ah,
And that after I'm all done, be 9 out of 10, 9 out of the last 10 days I would be on call for. So I'm tired. I hate work, obviously. But we heal. I'm here. We're talking about wrestling, and I'm ready to get into it.
oh,
After such a big week too. Oh my, big weekend. Oh my
it
goodness.
was big weekend, big week. Again, we are recording this on a Thursday, so let's get right into it. There's not really too much to talk about on the SmackDown side of things because a lot of that stuff will just go right into Saturday
Mhm.
night's main event. But I do want to highlight Trick Williams, Carmelo Hayes, for all my Trick Mello Gang fans. Like for everyone who remembers what a great time that was. 2023, we were living. We got the match. We got the match. Now, I'm not gonna lie, Ricky. When I see you, Ricky, it's on site. But I do think it was they kind of teased the two of them colliding again during the
Oh
triple
yeah,
threat. Yeah, like during the triple threat between Carmelo, Trick Williams, and Damian Priest, I think that was to the Elimination Chamber
yeah,
qualifier, right?
yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so they had teased that, and now we finally got the one-on-one, head-to-head. But the thing is that it wasn't for the title. It's kind of annoying. So I guess it was like a eliminator match, almost kind of. I thought it was a good match. I thought it was really fun. Their chemistry is incredibly magnetic. I think that I talked about this on the rundown on Monday, but I think the way how Trick was able to ground Mello, because we don't really get to see him be much of a grounded wrestler, because obviously he does the high flying stuff and things like that. It really allowed for us to see his moveset kind of expand and kind of on the similar side of things, or on the flip side of things. This match allowed for Trick to be a little bit more aggressive because Carmelo's wrestling soulmates are people who are pretty fucking stiff. Like he wrestles Ilya Dragunov in a couple of months, so like it allowed for Trick to be a much more aggressive like competitor than he usually is. But what do you think?
I agree with you. It was an excellent match. He still have a country of Chick Mello days. I'm not surprised that with these Saints in the field. I mean, him and Mello are starting to have a little rivalry. I wouldn't be shocked if this kind of leads into like a triple threat, like SummerSlam or something. Um,
I definitely
for
see
the
this heading towards SummerSlam for the U.S.
yeah,
title.
yeah. So I mean, I'm not going to play anything with the could put off some magic, but it was a great showing. Uh, Great until with God, which is so, but it's to be expected.
Yeah. I think they're also running this match on the UK house show loops, which literally just started today. So don't quote me if this is inaccurate. But I know that both of them were booked, so I'm assuming that they're running that match there. I might need to look into that. But another big thing that I want to talk about on the SmackDown side of things, yo, Sami Zayn, let me talk to you. Let me talk to you man to man, eye to eye. My dog, my oos, my honorary oos. Gotta stop being a baby back bitch. Gotta stop being the baby back bitch. Because first off, when you go and you ask Nick all this, hey, what you got for me on the show this week? Which first off, So you're telling me, even in kayfabe, right? You're telling me that these wrestlers fly to these towns, go through the airport, get their luggage, do whatever, and have no idea what they're doing on the show. There's no rundown, no nothing. There's no like run of show, not even the inclination, right?
Hey man, it's just like the movie 2K14 when Smackdown was involved when you have to like when you went backstage and you figuring out what match is next. It's just the whiteboard.
So, Nick Aldis says, sorry, Sammy, I ain't got nothing for you. Sammy's like, no, I want to talk to my ride or die. He's like, I bet you if it was Cody Rhodes, yeah, yeah, I bet you if it was the undisputed champion, yeah, of course he would have some TV time. He's the undisputed champion. He's the undisputed champion, Sammy. Like, what are we? So the logic in that didn't make sense at all. But this is where I believe this is where Cody's Cuban side came out of because this was not Cuban at all. But something about this wasn't given Dusty parents. It feel like it came from his mama's side. I ain't gonna lie to you. Because Cody pops up on this man like a thief in the night. And he says, "Oh, really? It's like that." Then this is what I hate about motherfuckers. You feel me? Sammy's acting all fake and fraudulent. Sammy said, "Nah, man, I'm just using you to prove point, man. Nah, man, ain't really no tension, ain't really no beef. You know, I'm just trying to get through. You know, I'm trying to get the wins in the house. It's the odds. You
Baby
feel me?
back
Like,
bitch.
bro, baby, back bitch." And so then Cody Rhodes says, "Hey, man, you know my new motto: easy to find, hard to beat." He says, "Nick, Sammy wants some TV time. Let's make him famous. Give us TV time. We can set the match up tonight." And I ain't gonna lie, that might be the coldest shit I've seen Cody do in a minute. The coldest.
Mm-hmm.
Do I believe that this version of the American Nightmare character has gotten a little bit stale? Yes, I fully do. However, the thing I like about this easy to find, hard to beat layer that they've been kind of adding throughout the last couple months is that it makes things exciting. It makes things for less predictable matchups, even though because we talk about it all the time on here. Like they've booked Cody to be so like heavily overpowered. There's very few people who can get on his level or who can actually like justify a match with him. If we
Yes.
have random things like this, where the motivation for this match, it wasn't necessarily because oh I think I'm better than you or oh I think something. It was like oh you just talking shit. We can just go ahead and run the fade. Like that part of his character is now justified, and now that makes for more exciting matchups, at least in my mind. But overall, man, this is Sami Zayn and Cody Rhodes. The match itself wasn't bad at all. But I do want you to tell the people, Sears, about what happened towards the end, and I want to know your thoughts on it.
Of course. So I mean obviously Cody Rhodes wins the match. He's not taking that loss. Uh, but Guthor, his opponent for the Saturday at Clash in Italy, gets from behind and put him in the sleeper hold, you know. Guthor's go-to move at this point. Chokes him out. And Sammy, being the baby back bitch that he is, looks think actually he's thinking about helping his friend, his ride or die, Cody Rhodes.
Yeah,
Just dips. See ya, Cody. Just leave the ring. Leave Cody to get choked out by Guthor. So honestly, I think this is like part of like the downfall of Sami Zayn of like Tony Heel.
oh
And I
yeah, most
do
definitely.
and I do think that we do come back to it. For the Guthor
Mm-hmm.
match. But I'm really intrigued about like it seems like I'm finally pulling the trigger of like 30 of like Sami of Zayn being that being a heel.
Yeah, I think that because let's be honest, WWE has kind of lost the plot when it comes to Sami Zayn on a couple of things because he came in and he started maybe like middle of last year or like right around the time of like when Cena had turned face during his retirement tour. It was like, I want a world title again. I want a world title. And
Mm-hmm.
he kept that running throughout the back half of 2025. And then somewhere around like top of 2020. No, somewhere around like November ish, because Carmelo won the title in December. So somewhere around like November, he completely lost the plot, and then he just went back down to the mid card. Obviously, had a great open challenge run with the U.S. title and things like that. So we were happy about it. It seems like Sammy had some sort of use, and then in my mind, it was like, oh, okay, we're using this U.S. title run to kind of like catapult and see what Sammy could look like as an actual fighting world champion. I
Mhm.
figured, oh, he's going to go back to Raw. He's going to have a short stint with the World Heavyweight Championship because that's the fighting like championship. But no, Sammy stayed on SmackDown, and he still has nowhere in sight for a World Championship picture. So I think the thing right now that we need to fix is we got to pull the trigger. We got to pull the trigger on the heel turn. He's already
Mhm.
getting booed like crazy. Granted, during like during the Trick Williams feud, which it seems like they're trying to move Sammy away from, which thank God, because that
Mhm.
was starting to get really fucking boring, really fucking quick.
Mhm.
Um, like I really do believe that what Sammy needs is one, the heel turn, and two, to actually be treated like the main eventer that he is, which is like we need to really start putting him against these people. I don't care if you have him start mollywhopping. I'm trying to think of all the baby faces that he can go through. Cardona, Ilya, even like I don't care who he has to go through in order to get there. The same way how Drew is seen as yes, you are a beatable main event guy, but you are still a main event guy. That's how you can
Yes.
build Sammy. Like, there's
Yes.
no reason why Sami Zayn was able to beat Gunther at 40, and Gunther gets built up this crazy momentum, right?
Mhm.
And Sammy isn't even anywhere in that same wavelength of perception. Because
Yeah.
we talk about this all the time on this podcast. Power scaling, as silly as it is to think about, this is also scripted entertainment, so this does factor in. Like, power scaling is the biggest thing, and I think there's a lot of people where the perception is getting fucked up. The perception is getting fucked up because of how you're telling these storylines, so on and so forth. Like we talk about it all the time when it comes down to Jey Uso. Sorry that Jay has to catch a stray here, but you tapped out the man that made AJ Styles and John Cena tap out. But yet we don't view you anywhere where you need to be, right? So I don't want Sammy to fall into that same wavelength. But like you said, Gunther came through, choked out. My man be putting him in the yoke. You feel me? He be like, that's the
Mhm.
anaconda vice. What do you think? I've been hearing this a lot. What do you think about Gunther's like power bomb? I see people say that he needs a new finisher because they're tired of the fuck ass power bomb.
I I think Goofy. I think Goofy can would benefit more from a different finisher, not because like if how long is real, but I think it's like it's. I feel like it's such a weird finisher for him. You know,
Yeah,
like like I feel like going to like I'm fine with the choke out being his finisher. You know, being one of his
mm.
finishers. Like I
I
think
mean,
the
we haven't
power
had someone have
bomb.
a choke out like that since like Samoa Joe. Like when I think about like the Coquina Clutch, like that's what it very much reminds me of.
Yeah, so I agree. Like I feel like the choke hold such a much better than a power bomb. It feels real. It's like Jay. So again, it's Jay. So if another way, but it's like Jay Uso doing the spiel, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, it is seems off. Like, is it
it's
effective?
one of those
Yeah.
things that like works in theory, but when you actually like put it on the mat and you see it, like it doesn't like hit like that.
Yes. Like that.
Nah,
Like his power bomb can be like a good move, like to like set up. Like yeah, let him do a power. Let the power bomb be like the signature move to set up for the finisher. You know,
mm, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Um, should we jump right into Saturday night's main event?
reach out.
All right, so we start off with what I thought was an amazing match between Jade Cargill, Beach and B-Fab going up against Rhea Ripley and Charlexa. Dude, first off, shout out to whoever did the designs for Jade and the Baddies costumes. Again, I'm still just gonna call them Jade and the Baddies because that's exactly what they were in AEW. So we just go they copy and
He's
paste.
Batteries 2.0.
This is the Baddies 2.0 dog. But no, them coming out in the Michael Jackson homage gears was beautiful. Really, really loved it. Really, really loved it.
Mhm.
I I really love this match. It was incredibly intense, but also incredibly hilarious because what do you mean that Michin was able to put tall ass Charlotte Flair, ex volleyball player, in the Styles Clash? Really dope homage, by the way, because they never really touch on the fact that Michin used to be a part of the OC, which I like that the fact that they're able. I want to know how many people has AJ Styles just to say, hey, you could do the Styles Clash. That's fine. Because I'm thinking of how many people actively right now use it. Dragon Lee, Michin might add it to her arsenal now, as we've seen.
Yes. Yeah.
Leon Slater does it in TNA, and then
Mhm.
Will Ospreay does it as well. Also, this might be a little too much insider baseball, but we've seen AJ Styles' son training, so I imagine he's gonna debut in like 3 years, four maybe. I don't know
Yeah.
how old he is, but I would say roughly between the next like 3 to 5 years.
Yeah.
So roughly, that's going to be five people using this move, which I have no problem with because I feel like AJ's one of those guys where it's just like he doesn't care. Go ahead,
Yeah.
like. But I just think it's going to be very very funny because Leon's still got a lot of years left in his career. Dragon Lee isn't that old, so I could still see him using that for like next like 10. Like
Michin,
that,
I think Michin is older than is the oldest of the group. I feel like.
yeah, I think so too. Like none of these people are on the way. None of these people are on the way out. Like Meechin being the oldest out of all of them says everything. So it's gonna
Mhm.
it's gonna be very fun. It's gonna be a lot of the Styles Clash might turn into the next Shawn Michaels super kick.
I mean, yeah, I don't think AJ. Yeah, I agree. AJ doesn't really care about that. I think I honestly, I think he said before, like in an interview or something like that. Like, I can't know what's interview, honestly, but I think he said that like he doesn't care.
Yeah. Again, this is just me being insider. This is just like my nerd
Yeah,
brain going off of things. But
yeah.
what you think of the match overall though?
Overall, I thought it was a good match. I thought it was like, I mean, the white team won. Obviously, if Ripley, Flair, and Bliss won that match, it would have just torn down any momentum that the little momentum that Jake Cordell had, let alone the bad 2.0, to be completely
Yeah.
honest. If they would have lost that match, I wouldn't have been surprised if we saw like that they got cut, to be honest.
Yeah,
Like
that is
they had no, they had there was they had nothing to lose. Well, nothing to everything came from winning. Rightfully, they won. So,
yeah.
but it was a
No,
really good, a really solid match, honestly.
yeah, it was. Let's go down the card real quick. Oh, we're not going to talk about this match in full because, to be honest, there really wasn't much of one. But
Yeah.
I do want to know Soul Ruka, Becky Lynch. I want to know your reaction to the Soul Snatcher and the DQ in general. What was your like just immediate reaction?
Hate it. I mean, honestly, I have to. I believe I said something. We said something about this last week on the podcast. I'm like, how did you win? If it wasn't for the title, she was gonna win some way.
Yeah,
One, I feel like Saruka did it need a more satisfied win than that.
yeah,
That's my fortune here, though. Because like she had to, before that match, she had did not have a win in the card.
She hasn't had a minute. She hasn't had a win on the main roster since Leslie Sapp.
Yeah. So like she needed if you're gonna push Silver to like how you're calling like push her because she's also it's been said that she's also supposed to be like heavily featured on the old tour they're doing. So if you're gonna push her, you have to give her a respectable a pinfall over the champion, right?
Yeah,
They didn't do that. Second issue is again an inconsistent. It's inconsistency on that, but it's just pro wrestling in general is notorious of.
mm,
Like like, why is that DQ in this case, but in other cases it's not?
Yeah,
Like, so
that is fair.
yeah, so like now they just open it up. It's weak booking, honestly. It's weak creative, it's weak booking, and it only works for a week though. At the end of it, I mean, honestly, yeah, she has the icy terror shot, but like she doesn't look as strong as she should be during it done. And now it looks. I mean, AEW was mocking it like on Wednesday, like
Yeah, yeah,
with Jericho and Ricochet, like it leads you it just makes your whole whole image just weaker. So that's it's such lazy booking.
yeah. No, and especially for someone who was very much like the starlet of NXT coming out of her rookie class, for lack of a better term. Like, think about everyone that's kind of like around her rookie class when she got called on. Lash Legend, Trick Williams, Javon Evans, Obafemi, and then Fatal Influence. Fatal Influence, he Saints, Ethan Page.
Mhm.
I think out of everyone who's been pushed to the same degree as her, who you could say was like, so who would you put like Flash, Trick, Javon, Oba? Like,
I feel like she's like right now she's like a upper mid of the pack, right? Like I would say Horn and Devon on the same level as each other right now. Not quite like being as pushed as like Trick last when she first got called off. Oba, I think Oba, like they're being featured regularly, right?
yeah,
But like even with Javon Evans, like he's not doing that often either. Like he's more heavily featured. But so even it's insane that she's like one. She doesn't have a pinfall win yet.
yeah.
So
So I think like when it comes to Soul, like it's kind of crazy seeing the momentum just kind of like drop because again, she was one of the most talented. Like she was someone that everyone was clamoring for called up. Um, we got to see her go up against Bailey. She's pinned one of the four horsewomen. Honestly, I'm surprised why they haven't mentioned that like in the promos leading up to this. I would have been like, if I was Soul, I would have been like, hey, I've pinned one horsewoman. Don't make me have to pin another.
mhm.
So, again, it all comes down to just like you said, the booking. It comes down to the booking, and it comes down to how they want to go ahead and build these characters, and how they want to go ahead and build Soruka as an entity on Raw. I think that she's in good standing because obviously she's in the IC title scene. It's looking like, and I'm hoping we'll talk about this when we get to predictions, but I'm hoping that she takes the belt off Becky on Sunday. Yeah, I think it's on Sunday. Um, fact check.
Keep going.
Yeah, but I hopefully she takes the belt off Becky at Clash. But like overall, I really don't know. She's had stellar matches. Like don't disregard this. She's had stellar matches. Like the match against Liv was great. The match against Io was. It's just a matter of fact that we need to start seeing her in those circles. And going back to the house show, Luke, that you brought up, she's supposedly supposed to be fighting both Liv and Io in a triple threat for the World Heavyweight Championship. So it doesn't make sense to me. Now, granted, before people start getting in the comments and be like, house shows aren't canon, house shows aren't canon. I get it, I know, but we still have to have some sort of internal logic. You can't randomly fail to go and beat a mid card champion. Granted, even though it's Becky Lynch, one of the greatest of
Mhm.
all time, that's still a mid card championship. And then all of a sudden, we're supposed to act for like the next week that you now deserve the women's world heavyweight title shot. When the women's world heavyweight champion is already being clean, mind you. So the internal logic with Sol Ruka's booking needs to be streamlined and it needs to be like just figured out. Because I'm not saying that she needs to get the immediate rocket. Although I would
Yeah,
love for her to get the immediate rocket. But
not quite
let's
yet.
just
Not quite yet.
let's just get her over the hump of the IC belt first. Let's figure that out. Then
Mhm.
once we have her built as a strong like factor in that women's division because I think she can truly be a workhorse champion the same way how we saw Lyra Valkyria with that belt.
Mm-hmm.
Like once we get that figured out, the Soul is a talented Soul is incredibly talented. She'll handle the rest of it for you. That's literally all you need to do.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree.
Um, Paige and Brie retain the women's tag team championships. Really dope match, really good match. Shout out to Paige for posting our clip. Appreciate you. Now, the main event, Division versus the Street Profits. I can give a dissertation on how the wrong people won this match. Especially in hindsight. Sorry, I don't wish injury on anyone. I really do think it sucks that Logan Paul is injured right now. He tore his triceps, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Speedy recovery. However, it does kind of reinforce my point that the wrong team won here. Because first of all, why was this booked as the main event if there wasn't going to be a title change? The fact that there were no title changes here on this show, because we didn't talk about the Pence and Ethan Page match, but the fact that there were no title changes on the show was kind of disgusting. I'm not going to lie.
Mm-hmm.
This could have been a full episode of Raw.
It could have
That's,
been, yeah.
but overall, man, we got to start putting some respect on Angelo Dawkins' name. I think he was the MVP in this match.
Mm-hmm.
Brother, first of all, there are very few people to make Braun Breaker seem like a puppy dog. When I tell you, that man threw Braun like he yoink. I thought I was watching Looney Tunes, dog. That's how crazy it was. And then
Mm-hmm.
Montez Ford, man, I've said it on this podcast on multiple occasions. It was up to me. Montez Ford would be taking the belt off of Cody immediately. Immediately. But sadly, I do not control creative. So, just a really, really stellar showing for the Profits, and we're going to talk about it a little bit more when we get to Raw. But overall, though, what do you think of the main event?
A really good match. I mean, all four men involved, what? Well, like, all excellent wrestlers, right? And I mean, it was a really good match. One that the tag team was needed. I
Oh
agree. I
yeah,
mean, I agree. Even without the injury, I still the two Papa should have won. But I feel like we got even without that result, it was still a good match.
yeah.
Especially when the team that you pick is correct to win. Like it's unfortunate, but it was a good match, and I think
Also, it's
the
just
fact
nice
that
to see tag team wrestling like represented and actually put in a real light because like what think about the fact that we had two tag team championship matches on the show when
mm,
we typically like don't even, especially for the men's tag division, we don't. They don't give a shit.
mm, and they made it. So yeah, but it was good to see.
I think it'll be great. Now, was there anything? Nah. Let's save that for when we get to Raw because I was going to say something about Raw and then the whole Vision interference, but we'll talk about that more when we get to Raw. You guys, you want to jump right into Double or Nothing?
Do you want to say double or nothing for AEW, or you want to go with the results real quick?
Uh, let's go through Raw. We'll do yeah. Let's go through Raw, and then we'll do Double or Nothing when we do AEW stuff. Let's just bunch it all as a whole real quick. All right, jumping over to Raw. What we got? Almost Homie has officially signed the contracts for the rematch between him and Brock. Which, if you listen to last week's episode, I went on about damn near a 10-minute rant on why this match shouldn't be happening. All my points still stand. However, the match is happening. So, hey, Oba, I wish you the best. That's all I gotta say, man. Like
Mhm.
he has this segment with Paul Heyman where first off, the fact that they trust you with a mic against Paul Heyman shows you the immense faith that they have in this company. So great, love it. And then have that fuck ass segment of Brock explaining, oh, that's fine. I can take an ass whooping. But can you take an ass whooping? Which I thought was the. I try so hard to be not biased when it comes to this. Actually, no, I don't. I really don't. But I just thought it was really weak writing. I really did. Like even like objectively, I thought it was really weak writing,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought that the motivations behind it were really really weird. It was like, oh yeah, I quit, but then I want to realize, can you take a loss? We've we've seen Ova lose, dog. We've seen. Granted, I get it. The main roster they assume that the main roster audience and the NXT audience are two different iterations. Blah blah blah. But in the back of my mind, it's like we've seen him lose, dog.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason why Ricky States had the belt during that whole TNA mess. You feel me? Which, by the way, it is still so funny to me that while the whole invasion angle was going on, they said, "Nah, we don't want Oba in the middle of this at all. Oba, you go back to Nigeria. We gonna put the belt on Ricky for a little bit. Handle your business."
Uh-huh.
Sorry, I think about that like every couple of weeks, and it just makes me laugh a little. But no, what do you think about the segment, and what did you think about the exchange between Paul Heyman and Obafemi? Because I really do think that that deserves some acknowledgement.
No, I think it was an actual showcase of Oba on the mic. I mean, obviously, he doesn't need to be on the mic as often when he's Oba, but like
Yeah, you're
it
six
was
two, buff as shit, and can throw people. Yeah, no, you don't need to.
like a chant has the pose has the fans like you don't need to be on the mic, and I think it's like well, I think it was really good to see him like excel on the mic as well because like he's just a total package. Like we all knew that people who watched that scene knew that he was right.
Yeah,
I feel like like the fact that he told Heyman to well that he's not going to kill him, so he needs him to send a message
mm,
saying tell everyone that like WrestleMania I was just trying to win. Now I'm about to kill you. Oh my god! Like other than a PG, like oh shit moment I ever heard.
yeah,
Like it gave me a little bit of hope that like he will win on Sunday. It is Sunday by the way.
yeah. Which I think like we needed.
We need it. But I mean, it was just I got goosebumps watching it. To be honest, I think it was a solid like sports like promo, like one of the few promo segments you had in this young film, and it gave
Mm,
me. I mean, I want to see more. So, like I can't imagine. I'm saving for the day of like when we get him was like him and Williams on the mic together, and then Fatu on the
yeah.
mic together. You know,
Ooh,
like him and Rhodes, him and like there could be fun segments together. So
yeah. I would like to see him and Cody on the mic against each other again because the one they had, I think the Friday before Saturday night's main
mhm,
event, that was a really good one.
yeah.
But nah, you're 100% right. Like that was really really dope to that was really really dope to see. Um, we definitely got to talk about this. I've been clamoring for Bailey and Lyra to finally get some sort of momentum in the women's tag division, and we finally got it. Finally. However, we do have to talk about one thing before we talk about the win over the Judgment Day. What are we doing with Liv Morgan?
That's exactly why I highlighted this because we need to talk about it. This is like the biggest. This is the biggest issue that we has right now. Right? Is they don't know how to have like they don't know how to tell a continuous story. You know, like and they just and when after a story wraps up, they just let the person they just let everybody sit there and and get cold.
Yeah,
Like look at it. Like you did to LA Knight. They have done it to the majority of the tag teams. They
yeah,
they have done it to they did it to Alistair Black. Liv Morgan, Tiffany Stratton, Julia, Stephanie McHale.
Oh yeah.
They did the majority of the women's division at this point. So it's like, so now you have your women's world champion, not not defending, and
Mm,
then since like April 16th, 17th, 15th, 16th, 17th, something like that,
yeah.
that she won that title and she hasn't defended once. There's no clear direction of where she's going. I feel like it's going to be like this until Finn Balor pulls Roxanne
Yeah. Which
or
is
Raquel.
insane because like we have so much we have so much going on. Like there's
Yes.
so all right, man. So here's what I'm thinking, and I'm not gonna lie. This might be a spoiler for a video idea I end up dropping or whatever on our socials. Um, the socials will be at the bottom here, at top. Um, but yeah, man. So some people who I would pitch or live to defend against. One, I saw them have a Twitter exchange, and I actually got really, really excited about this. Natty, but Natty's busy dealing with Jada Parker. But
Mm-hmm.
I think even if you give us a random TV defense on a Monday, that could be cool. And if Jada Parker interferes on Tuesday, Jada Parker interferes to set up on Tuesday, that could even be cool. But they're overseas now, so I highly doubt they're gonna fly Jada Parker. I mean Miss Jada overseas. Uh, Usos have all come bad strays. Uh, Julia, Ju- Julia versus Liv should be the women's world heavyweight championship match for Clash of Italy, dog. Like two Italians in their native homeland getting that big ass reaction and pop. Yeah, Julia is Italian. I had to look it up myself too. Um, like that would be crazy. That'd be insane. That'd be like that'd be similar to like when Finn Punk was Scotland, Ireland. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um, dude, honestly, if Jade and them had lost the match on Saturday, I would have said, "Hey, just send the three of them to Raw. Just send the three of them to Raw." Because Liv and Jade actually got pretty good chemistry. Like, but even if we look at like Raw's current roster, I don't even care if you give Liv a random win over Ivy now because let's be honest, Chad Gable's going to show up on Monday. There's no way that he wins. No chance. No chance. There's no way he wins on Saturday. I want to let y'all know right now. Um, so the, the last thing that Chad told American Alpha, American Made, whatever the faction is right now, American Made, right?
Mm-hmm.
The last thing he told them was, "Hey, y'all gotta get some gold." So at least Ivy could be like, I tried." Like, would have been even if it's just random, like one-off defenses. You have such a stacked women's roster. Use them.
Yeah, one of the big losers now. I'm probably going to say EO.
Dude, yeah. They're literally, 'cause- yeah, you're 100% right. Liv and EO haven't had a match in God knows how long. But that would be an amazing beef. It's all right there. You have an overwhelming wealth of riches that don't get used. Speaking of a wealth of riches. Oh wait. Before we go on to that, let's double back. I'm on the card first. So the Bailey and Lyra match versus Raquel and Roxanne. Really, really solid match. Really, really good match. Do you think that this means that Bailey and Lyra are going to be the next opponents for? I almost said Nikki and Brie and Paige.
I suppose they have to be at this
Yeah.
point. I mean, because look at who they already beaten, right? They already beat the Union Forces.
Mhm.
I believe they beat Alexa.
Yeah, they did.
They who else have they faced? They've had a
I think the
couple
only teams they
of
haven't faced are like Fatal
judgment
Influence
Baileys,
and Bailey and Lyra.
and I think that's exactly. They're gonna. I think bury them out of the next one, but then they go. Then I think they'll lose them to. Uh, I always forget the names. What the names? Not fair influence. And
Yeah,
they'll lose them, but I do think that they'll shoot the next ones up. So,
that's fair.
but
I
I need
think
my
the
goal.
next one's
I need my goal
uh,
line to get. I need my goal line to get pushed either as a tag champ or as a single champ. But she
I
needs
would,
something.
bro. If it was up to me, Lyra would be in the main event scene right now. Lyra would be feuding with. Okay, so here's another thing with Liv, right? Liv has built-in feuds already based off of the year that she's had. Um, if they don't want to pull the trigger on Roxanne, right? Because obviously we know that that's her. Pull the trigger on Raquel. She literally threw Raquel out of the Royal Rumble. There is a built-in feud right there. I'm trying to figure out what's with the hesitation. That's really. No, go ahead.
No, I mean I've been saying this since the Rumble, right? I mean that was one of my biggest matches for WrestleMania, right?
Yeah,
Was Judgment Day Lee's or Liv and Raquel.
yeah,
That it, this is the big issue that they've been having of like not pulling the trigger on things, like on like the Judgment Day breakup, like on Monday night with who we talk about next. Like they don't know when the whole NXT like of last year essentially. They don't want to pull the trigger. So it's
yeah.
like either they pull the trigger too soon or they don't pull it at all until it's like already too late.
The thing is that like not everything has to be long-term storytelling. I get it. That was one of the big things that made the Bloodline story one of the best stories in wrestling. If you ask me, it might be the best story in wrestling. So, I understand the allure to just want to have everything be long-term storytelling, but sometimes you just gotta get it while the moment's good, man. What else do we have? Oh, we had Seth Rollins versus Montez Ford. So Seth Rollins and Montez have obviously had tension for a couple of weeks over trying to figure out how to handle the division. So they've get into another scuffle backstage. Montez says, "Hey, you want to settle this? Let's settle this out in the ring." Seth says, "I don't want to do this, but fuck it, I'll accept." And man, personally, when it came to Monday Night Raw, this was my match of the night. Even though Penta and Javon Evans had a banger, like a banger of a match. Like I'm saying, like arguably TV match of the year contender. I
Mm-hmm.
still think that Seth Rollins and Montez Ford went absolutely crazy. When you think about just the storytelling that they were trying to tell in the ring, and when you factor in also the fact that they were homaging Becky and Bianca's was it
Yep.
38? Yeah.
Was it? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, when they were homaging
Mm-hmm.
Becky and Bianca from 38. Because when I saw Montez get ready to do the KOD, I said, no, he ain't. I know he ain't. Like, it was one of those things that I really, really like enjoyed overall as a match. I thought it was really cool. It pulled y'all got on here a couple of weeks ago, not here specifically. Y'all got on the internet a couple of weeks ago. Y'all tried to say that Seth Rollins was washed because he wanted to do the Osprey and Bushi spot. Watch this match, and I dare y'all tell me that man washed. My boy Kobe Lopez never washed. Never.
Honestly, I mean, I feel like Seth Rollins just doesn't get hit. Sorry. Seth
Uh,
Rollins just doesn't get his flowers nowadays. Like with all his
yeah.
injuries and stuff. But, like he can still go. Like he's him. Like he is like arguably one of the greatest wrestlers of today. Still, like that man can wrestle anybody when they get a good match. If you get him the right time and space to do it, he can make you a match.
Most definitely. Like, I think the same way how we talk about Sean being able to have a match with a broom and like he can make it work, I say
Yes,
I think Seth is in the same respect.
I know 100%.
Um, when it comes down to again, WWE has a wealth of riches, a vast of riches. Montez Ford, they have to pull the trigger on Montez at some point because they haven't. Not only has recently been like their third or fourth time teasing Street Profits breakup in the last couple of years, but now you're giving me Montez singles matches, and you don't expect me to think that we're gonna get the U.S. title elimination chamber Ford again. Yo, what is Sears doing?
I know. Don't heal him. No. So that's one way. Keep going. I can hear you.
No, that's fine. I know. For the fans that are listening, I want you to know Spears' cat is up to some bullshit. We don't know what, but he's up to some bullshit.
No, okay, you see, here's the thing. In this case, I couldn't heal him. I was like, oh, this is either he's asleep or he doesn't bullshit. And for reference, I'm looking. I could like what his bed is. It's like right in my like right in front of me, like in my eyesight. But there's like the I have like these brown hexagon tables in my apartment. I didn't buy them. And the one of them blocking my view, so I was like, "Is he in his bed or is he being in Minnesota?" And he's sleeping. It's all good.
It's fair. All right. Let's wrap up Raw real quick. That sounds crazy, but also, let's finish up. Let's finish up our Raw breakdown, and let's talk about Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu segment for the tribal combat match. I almost said tribal combat. Anyway, first off, Adam Pierce, who's already the most stressed GM of all time. I've never seen Adam Pierce get dog walked like this. He said, "Leave us." Adam ain't say nothing. He just, "Yes, sir. You got it, sir." Like, I guess Adam ain't want no smoke back when he was managing SmackDown. Because, yeah, he was GM of SmackDown during peak Bloodline, right?
When he was both GMs.
Okay. So, jeez. That, that was a great job. Anyway, but, yeah, like, when it came down to the contract stuff, I think slowly but surely starting to see Jacob Fatu start to launch in terms of milestones. Not to say that he's ever been like, but it's always been a thing of like it's crazy to see the evolution of Roman on like because that man cannot cut a promo for shit. But now he's arguably one of the top bike in the company. So to see Jacob be able to match that is also a testament to how much he's grown as far as his promo skills since getting signed to WWE for like 2 years ago. Yeah, let's say
Yeah.
2 years. So I think I think this was running a segment. I think the moment of the two of them with their heads touching is that's I'm not gonna say it's iconic, but that was a really, really good shot, really, really good angle, really, really good moment. And Jacob just being like, "Hey, if I lose, I still have a job. Fuck it." It it was such a super like small detail, but it also adds to the oh, I'm unhinged. I'm off the leash nature of his character that I like.
Mhm.
But what you think of the whole thing?
I thought it was excellent. I mean, I think like the added situations of like if Fatu wins, he becomes the charge chief versus if Reigns wins, then Fatu falls in line. I think that adds so much to it. And like again, this is like the one good example of WWE has a long term storytelling right now. And the fact that
Mhm.
like they're just building chapters to it with this is like insane. But I thought the segment was excellent, which is expected when you have women Reigns and Jacob Fatu in it, right? And it makes me like excited more excited to see like who comes out on top in this match because like before that tournament I was leaning more towards Jacob anyway, but now it's like more now it's back in the middle again. So like it was a really awesome segment to see and make me more excited for the match.
But yeah, like it's definitely one of those things where it's like, damn, this is like crazy to see, crazy to come down. Um, as far as my anticipation for the match, this easily might be one of my most anticipated for Sunday
Mhm.
because I just tribal combat has never been a super interesting stipulation, but I think now the story is the thing that's carrying it. Like as far as there are certain stipulations where the stipulation itself makes for the match to be enjoyable, like a three stages of hell, a buried alive match, something like that. Tribal combat, again, we talked about this last week. The bloodline has a bunch of different ways of saying it's a no DQ match. So that really doesn't move me, but this story, the layers behind it is what's moving. Um, let's just jump straight into NXT. Dion Lennox, Cutler James, Osiris Griffin. Now, I love all of you dearly. However, y'all are on my shit because not only did you kick my man Saquon out, but now y'all come on here. First off, was it weird seeing them not in the camo, not in the all black, like it's not with the mask, not looking
Mhm.
like they were SWAT officers like bootleg shield? It
Yeah.
was very weird to me. Like they came in looking like it was draft day, which granted, given the context of the promo, makes sense. However, they go on this whole promo talking about, and we had to kick Saquon out. He's just an indie wrestler. Huh? You talking about Lucky Ali? You talking about former DPW champion? You talking about I know you're not talking about Southeast DC though. Saquon Sugars. Not the Sugar Man. Um, but I thought that the motivation was very like paper thin and kind of thrown together. I could have understood if you just said, "Hey, you couldn't get the job done. I had to kick you out." It was that simple. I could have understood that. But and also I will say, like I was kind of like half watching, but also like half focused on other things as well. But I was very just confused. I was like, so we got this whole thing going on with Darkseid versus Saquon. You got Saquon popping out like Batman at the end of the episode, and their whole motivation is that because they're D1 athletes and not actual trained wrestlers, that's why they kicked them out. Doesn't Granted, I know they're running a similar storyline on Evolve right now, where it's like all the NIL guys versus all the WWID guys, and that's been going on for like the last couple of months. Like that works for Evolve, but that doesn't work for NXT, which I get it.
Yes.
They operate out of the same building, but it doesn't make sense. Um, but yeah, what do you think of the site?
I agree. It was kind of like it was very confusing and wasn't really like satisfying for the breakup. Kind of what we were talking about. Or this is an example of them pulling the trigger too soon, in my opinion.
Yeah,
And the segment just reinforces that for me. Like they had so many other options they could have gone with for like the reasoning for it, but like the fact that it was mostly just yeah, he's an NE wrestler. We don't want him in the group anymore. It's kind of wild, given the fact that like your group isn't about like sports
it's
or
not.
like
It's not about the same thing. Like I would understand if their group was on like an Imperium angle, where it's like, oh, we're talking about the sanctity of the sport, or it's like, oh, we're surrounded by dominance. It's more so, no, y'all were just hooligans that wanted to beat up everybody and get all the gold. Does it
yes.
really matter what your background is as long as you do it?
Hmm. I mean, again, the obviously with the shield, rough shield behind the shield idea, behind the idea of the shield, like that'd be like if Rollins and Moxley kicked Reigns out. Like
Yeah.
No, like the Shield was a betrayal. Like this was just like a like I don't even it's like
Yeah,
you,
there's
you're
nothing
not,
you can even like compare it to.
yeah, like you're not in no click anymore. Like you don't go heel. Like it was
Yeah,
mean
no, it wasn't you don't go here, mom.
it was mean goals. And it's like no, that's not what your group is about. If you want mean goals, go to SmackDown with Green, Monroe and Stratton. Like no, you guys all a bunch of maniacs attack causing chaos on NXT. Like have do betrayal, or like build up like Sugar is like losing constantly, and then make him the weak link. Like no,
Yeah, like,
it's
and
pointless.
the thing was that the losses between all of them, like Dion, you also caught a loss too. You lost to Miles. Like Saquon tried to get it back for y'all. Saquon lost. Y'all couldn't win the tag match. That's equally dependent on y'all.
Hmm.
Why is now Dion cool, but now Saquon in it? Granted, I get it, and I think that Saquon is going to be an amazing single star too. But like, like at least make it make sense.
Yes, I agree.
Um, what else? Oh, real quick. I do want to shout out that Kehlani Jordan Red Sinclair match. Dude, dope ass match. Like, whoever told Kehlani that against submission wrestlers use a submission finisher, I did not expect for Red Sinclair to tap out. That was fire. Really, really dope. I think that match was put together really, really well. Um, the NXT Speed Men's Division. We talked about this off mic a couple of days ago. How is this the strongest? Like as far as in ring talent, it's almost like neck and neck between the speed division and the women. Like it's better than the men's like roster, whether it's better than the men's scene, whether it be North American or the NXT Championship scene, as far as in ring talent. Seems like every speed. What the fuck is going on here? It's not even just a matter of fact in the time stipulation, but each match makes you want more. It makes you wish that they were running longer.
I mean, I feel like it makes sense given like the style of wrestling. Like speed is obviously like more like high impact, like you know, more flashy moves and more technical wrestling. Like it's not like two big guys like going at each other. It's not like ECW, right? No, these like all the wrestlers in the speed in the men's speed uh division are all little I don't want to say call them like small guys
Yeah,
who are fast for the most part, fast, agile, like go do like the high risk, high flying stuff. Can go and do like these like crazy combos and or just make everything flashy. So it makes sense that like this is like the most entertaining division to watch on NXT. I mean, because it's what they do. It's the whole idea behind speed. With the women at least, like there's not really it's like the men's speed division is essentially the cruiserweights.
yeah. Like it essentially is. It feels like the old WCW cruiserweight division, or like a 205 live or something.
Like that's what it is. And like the women's like speed division, like there's not much of a difference, so it doesn't stand out as much. But like we're so used to like big men. Like I mean, think about it. Like before they all left, the for the most part, the NXT title, men's title was big guys. Oba
Yeah,
was Trick. Rick had
yeah.
it for Ricky Singh had it for a little bit, and he's a little bit bigger than some of
Like
the
he's a smaller guy, but he's a big small guy.
yes. But you think back to those matches, who was often the standout of those matches? Javon Evans, who is
Yeah,
the
a
who is
smaller, leaner, more cruiserweight type guy.
yeah. So it makes sense of why the men's speed of it is so it's fast, high impact matches.
I did want to say shout out to Sean Legacy, Dorian Van Du. That was a crazy match.
Mm,
Um, who else do we have? We had Romeo Moreno versus Nathan Frazier. Crazy match. I'm surprised that Nathan came back to NXT, but they always have someone a veteran come down for these NXT
yeah.
TV tournaments. So I think it would have been cool to see Nathan Frazier go over and then go into the finals. But I get it. Romeo Moreno, he's still kind of new, still needs some traction. So that gives him a big win, knowing that he got a win over a what four-time Heritage Cup champion, one of the biggest tag teams to ever
Mm,
touch down his team, all that jazz.
yeah.
Um, okay, this one you're gonna need to take lead on. The D'Angelo, Cam Hendricks, and Maraku segment. I thought it was interesting. I thought it was cool. However, a big complaint, and you're gonna have to break this down a little bit more in detail because it's kind of blotchy here. Um, Raku taking out Cam Hendricks to like protect his prey, it kind of feels completely indifferent, and also it feels completely out of nowhere, but also the complete opposite of the character that they're trying to get over. But what do you think?
I mean, that's essentially what it is. What the segment was. I mean, it made official that Hendricks got a title shot next week,
Mm,
and uh, how do you say his name?
Raku,
Narakio. It's like it's acting as doing those Tony D's guardian angel, so he can be the one to take the belt. Like I think that's I like it. I'm a fan of it. Uh, I think it's really unique because more often than not we just see like challengers not protect
yeah, it's just also just one after the other, so on and so forth.
yes, and I also think I think it's helping establish who he is. He's brand new to us. Like he had
Yeah,
one match since
yeah,
debuting, and I think it's like I think the way I like setting him up as like not like he's not a heel in this case. But I also don't think he's going to be a face either. I think he's going to be a Trino.
I, yeah. I was about to say he's definitely full on sweeter.
And I think like the idea of like protecting the champion until so you can get a shot at him is like I think he sees Tony D as like the big old fish.
Does it kind of remind you of what's going on with Osprey and Mox right now?
Oh no, I don't think so. I think Osprey and I think it's really similar to each other, but I don't see like I think Osprey and Mox is more like guiding him. Like it's like guidance until, and then it's guidance to reach the goal, and then it's like, hey, I got you here. Give me a shot. Eventually,
Yeah.
like I think this case is more like I don't want to face Hendricks. I want to face you. You like I think it's actually I think yes, it's about the title, but I think it's more so about like you're the cornerstone of this division now. Like
Mm,
you're the OG of this division at this point.
yeah, that's fair.
Like I don't want these young pups. I want you.
That's fair. You want the veteran that's really been through it all.
Yes, I want to take you out. I want to take you out and take the belt from you to establish myself as the top dog of this division.
True.
So to get the opportunity, I will make sure that you have that belt when my time comes.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. I'm excited to see it, man. Cam Hendricks has been someone who I've been interested in since seeing him on LFG. I think he did really solid work for what I saw in the ball, and I'm not gonna lie, kind of is the asshole that we almost needed, that we were kind of missing from like a Hollywood trick on
Yes.
NXT. So I think he fills that spot perfect. Plus, I can't lie, his that little shit he be doing, kind of hard, kind of hard. You ain't fucking with it.
No, I'm not surprised. I'm shaking my head. I'm not surprised that you're a fan of it.
Um, we had Lola Vice take on Izzy Dave in the main event for the NXT Women's Championship. I, Nothing about Izzy Dave potentially being an NXT Women's Champion moves me. However, I'm trying to not hold resentment because I also said that same thing about JCJ. Look how that's.
Hmm.
I
I
also
did.
would have said the same thing about Lola 8 months ago. Look how that's turning.
I think the thing with Izzy Dane is like she just hasn't like been showcased. Like she hasn't like developed a personality, but outside of the calling. Like and,
Yeah,
like, the most we seen from her was her story with Tam Paxley, and
yeah,
that was more focused on Tam Paxley than it was Izzy Dame. Like I think with like Laura Vice or JC Jane, like we got to see them grow into their characters,
yeah.
and we got to see and we got behind them. Like we just haven't had the opportunity to with Izzy Dame. And honestly, I see a world where she just leaves the calling, or does the calling breaks up.
It seems like they're headed towards that way because, first off, especially, what the fuck does Nico do? What the fuck does Nico do?
Mm-hmm.
Congrats to Nico though. He is the new ROW men's champion, as far as I know. So shout out to him. But also, what the fuck do you do? Um, Sean Spears. I think I said this like as a joke last week or maybe the week before. Sean Spears, you should basically just be training. Like I don't think we really the NXT roster has so many people there. We don't have a need for him to be on screen. So if they wanted to, like, Izzy Dame is clearly the star. If they wanted to just go ahead and pull the trigger and break them up, I don't think anyone will be mad. I was gonna sit there and kind of like what we're doing with Darcy. But, no, it's too soon.
Yeah, no, yeah, no, yeah, the calling is just holding Izzy Dame back, and you can do so much more with Sean Spears than having having down now in the calling. So,
Um, Aside from that though, was there anything else from NXT that you wanted to touch on?
uh, no,
Since it is just the two of us today, we are going to go ahead and do your ops for the grids. Sorry, buddy, but we're gonna go ahead and do
huh.
that. Um,
This is the
Shout out to
second
Wrestling.
time. This is the second time you've
Uh,
done this to this specific card too. I just want to
yeah.
point that out. This is the second
Oh,
time you've done
really?
this to this specific one I made.
That's funny. That's funny. Okay. Um, but anyway, shout out to WrestlePlay. Those of you that are listening purely on audio, I highly suggest you go to the video mode in your DSP of choice. Or, of course, check us out on YouTube, youtube.com/ Top Rope Boys, TOPROPEBOYZ. Wrestle Grid is a daily wrestling challenge featuring a 3x3 grid that players must complete by filling in 9 wrestlers who fit both the row and column criteria. Now, let me go ahead and share my screen real quick. So we can get cracking. Sears, you ready to get into this?
Yep.
All right. Now, let's do this. Boom, 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 boom. So, for the columns, we have WrestleMania 15, the Cruiserweight Classic in
Ooh.
2016, and the Wyatt family. And then for the rows, we have the SmackDown 2005 roster, AEW TNT champion, and someone who is currently on the AEW roster. Do you want to go first?
Okay. Give me Brian Kendrick.
Oh, you know what's so funny? I was gonna say the same thing. Okay, so we'll do Brian Kendrick. Let's do Randy Orton.
Yeah. WrestleMania 15 was in the 90s. Give me a Cole Angle.
15
Okay.
was Rock Austin, right? So let's see.
Oh yeah, it was Edge.
Undertaker?
Oh yeah.
And then you said
Uh,
Edge, right? Edge has gotta be somewhere.
Oh yeah,
No, no Edge.
really?
Really?
Just the
Um,
moods.
Dustin Rhodes. You're right. All right.
Christian?
Currently, yeah, I was gonna say either Christian or Jericho.
Yoko?
Jericho.
Really? Wow. Really good.
Eagles. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Good job. Good call. Good call. Good call. Um,
Uh, Cruiserweight Classic, TNT champion,
Pat.
Cody.
No Pat.
Really?
Oh, Ibushi. Ibushi.
Yes. Oh. Okay, TNT champions, Cody, Buddy Lee, Darby Allen, Sammy Guevara,
Samoa Joe. Edge.
Mark,
Christian.
Kyle, Edge, Christian,
Kevin
Kevin Knight,
Fletcher.
I should
Not
know
Mark
this.
Briscoe. Who did Mark Briscoe take it off?
Put 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 the Great Lake Buddy Lee while we're at it.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. R.I.P. Brody
Uh,
Lee.
and then Brian Danielson, for the other one.
Oh yeah.
And then let's
Was that the
see, let's
American
see.
Dragon of the Wyatt family?
Scorpio Sky. Uh, let's go backwards. Kevin Knight, Kyle Fletcher, Mark Briscoe, Tomas Tampa.
Oh shit, yeah. Good, good one, good one, good one. I'm not gonna lie, I completely forgot that he was in the cruiserweight. All right. So for those of you that were playing along, for the columns, we have Undertaker, Goldust, Billy Gunn, Brian Kendrick, Tommaso Ciampa, Kota Ibushi, and then Randy Orton, Brody Lee, RIP, and Brian Danielson. For the roads, we have Undertaker, Kendrick, Randy Orton, we Goldust, Tommaso Ciampa, Brody Lee, Billy Gunn, Kota Ibushi, Brian Danielson. Now let's get back to our regular episode.
That was solid.
That was.
Besides WrestleMania 15, now I gotta check because I feel like that's or 17. So I feel like that's well, they were long, but
While you're going ahead and checking that, let's start talking about some AEW. So, first off, let's start with Double or Nothing. They started off with the. Actually, no, before we can get into the matches, Mick Foley is now all elite. Had a really dope opening segment with Renee Paquette, Darby Allin, MJF. How do you feel about Mick joining the AEW commentary team? At least for this event.
I thought it was great. I think it was it's a good. I think it was a good choice. I think it was a good choice. While he doesn't get like physically involved, I think it's great to have him. But honestly, we kind of all saw it coming with how like how both he's been against WWE and well AEW. But I'm really excited to see how it goes, like how what they do with it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'll be nice to see him around, like, because he's essentially holding the same position that Jeff Jarrett, right? Like,
Mhm.
comes on, he talks, he does some commentaries and breakdown for the matches, maybe has a little segment here and there. Like, I'm gonna be mad at him. Let's jump right into the I Quit match for the AEW Tag Team Championships. Edge and Christian versus FTR. Never in my life did I think I was going to see Stokely go through a flaming table.
And Dash.
Was it? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It was yeah. Dax Harwood did too.
Yeah.
No, like the homages to some of like Edge and Christian's like greatest moments as a tag team. Like obviously you had the Flaming Table spot. We had all these other different homages there too. I thought that was a really dope touch. Um, Again, another thing I never thought I'd see at a wrestling event. I never thought I would hear a whole arena chant "I fucked your mother." Uh, Christian. Christian is hilarious, dog. Because the whole time the dude's like, "Are you quitting? Are you quitting?" It's just like, mind you, they're crushing the shit out of his hand with this cement block.
It looks like
Against
they
the
are. They
boy. After what happened on Wednesday, I fear for that man's hand.
Oh no. Okay, so I definitely I saw a lot of people online saying like, oh, they actually won't do anything to Cushion's hand. So it was like the center block, hits him through the center block, and they would hit him on
Yeah,
top of the center block chair, not his hand. I was like, I saw so many people say something about that. So then when Wednesday went down and they like you like did it with the CO subs, I was like,
yeah.
dude, that this is what happens when the math wants to online. Cushion gets on.
But yeah, man, like it was such a dope match, and then even though she was such a vital part to the story as far as like motivations between Edge and Christian, like I did expect for Beth Phoenix to come out look like a badass.
Mm.
Like it, we know how I feel about Edge. Like I'm an Edge guy. I don't know if y'all know. I'm an Edge guy. So to see them get the belts for the first time since 2001, which literally was my birth year, for those of y'all that don't know, like that's insane.
He's just a baby.
But what were your thoughts on the match? What do you think? What did you think?
Honestly, I thought it was match of my night, a match of the night for me.
Uh,
Uh, I mean, it was such a good match. It was exactly what everybody wanted to do with the I Quit. Was that the first? That wasn't the first I Quit match in AW, right? No, it would have
no,
been.
can't
Yeah. So it was just a good match, and like it is like AEW does like the situation so well. It's like it was going to be such a good like it met my expectations. So
yeah, that's fair. Also the first I quit match in AEW was John Moxley versus Eddie Kingston in 2020.
yes, that makes sense.
Next up, we got Takeshita versus Okada for the AEW International Championship. I wish that Vaughn was here. I wish that Vaughn was here right now. Because when I tell you this was Grap Central, I mean Grap Central, dog. Like this was insane. Like the takedowns, it of course you have two strong style veterans coming in and doing their thing. And I think the best part about this match, even though the in-ring work was amazing, like always, was actually the story in and of itself. Because now we have fully cemented Takeshita leaving the Don Callis family. We got the Kyle Fletcher return. And then Kyle Fletcher proceeds to break our hearts by breaking up from Kushida. Kushida! Like, as soon as, what did Kyle do? Did Kyle do a low blow or was it a clothesline? I feel like it was a clothesline. As soon as Kyle gave Takeshi that clothesline, you would have thought that JBL had rose up from the grave and had possessed Kyle Fletcher. I was like, oh shit. Like, my heart sunk because I was so excited to see the two of them take on the Don Callis man.
Mhm.
But
Honestly,
no,
it was kind of it was not it was unexpected. I mean, one, I didn't expect him to be back so soon. I thought his injury was a lot
it was
worse.
like two. It was like 2 months that he was gone, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's like Cena in '08 timing.
Hmm. So like it was so unexpected. I definitely didn't think like yeah like it it was an unexpected move. I would have thought like the Don Kai would just beat up Tessa, you know,
Yeah,
but the fact that Sasha did it as well, like it blew my mind. I'm excited to see what they do with it. I mean, the
so
two features of like when we talk like two non-pillow features of the company and industry, it should be hella fun to watch. And like
no shit.
I even think of like possibly like what happened with Okada coming back then. Like are we gonna see like a Don Callis like civil war
Ooh,
because they have like a
maybe.
quarter of the division.
Yeah. And then, especially with Andrade having a sight set on the AEW Men's World title, like where does that fit in? How does that play into everything? Yeah, no, I see it. That definitely interesting stuff. Um, Athena meaning Shirakawa to advance in the Owen Hart Women's Tournament. Um, Honestly, really standout match, really stellar performance from both of them. However, this all of the Owen matches kind of have some sort of like a underlying story for all of them for most of the part, for most of them. This was the only one where it was like, oh, this is just an exhibition match to have an exhibition match. At least to me, like there wasn't really much of an like really like engaging or aggressive story going on there. Kind of not like Moxley or Kyle O'Reilly where they had a no time limit match for the AEW Continental Championship, and Moxley was finally able to get a definitive win over Kyle O'Reilly after Kyle made him tap what twice?
Two, 3 times, yeah.
Yeah. So um I don't want to skip. I don't want to skip or skim over Athena or Peter. So, what'd you think about that match, and then what'd you think about Moxley and O'Reilly?
Well, I'm surprised that Athena won. I honestly thought Mia, should call it. I can't speak right now.
Shirakawa.
Call it. Thank you. Was gonna win, given that she was more heavily featured on AEW television, and I feel like she's gonna be a big old feature of it all. So I'm
Mhm.
surprised that Athena won. Am I upset about it? No. See, because like I feel like there's no clear, like not one. There's like to me, there's no clear winner of the women's bracket. So like, yeah, I think it's great, but I won't be able to say she wins. So it was a
Yeah.
solid match. Going on to the Moxie Wiley match, I thought that was a good match as well. Obviously, like it wasn't like this fancy smancy match compared to anything else. All the other matches, but it was for the rushing styles. It was an excellent match. I mean, I knew we knew Mox was gonna win. There was no way Mox was gonna lose. It's like such a little story behind it. I mean, not little. Let me not say such a little story. They
Not
have
such a
history.
dynamic or grander like story towards it because
Yes.
the pure storytelling for this match, it wasn't anything that was built up through segments. It was more so what was built up through actual matches. Like when you look at like Kyle O'Reilly hitting the turnbuckle and then him having to sell the ankle the whole time, like that was the real storytelling as opposed to like, oh, you tried to like kill me or burn down my house or you broke my neck.
Yeah. Exactly. Like, yeah, they have history, but like, there was no build up for that second match.
Yeah.
Because I think that was the last match announced for the card, and that was
Mm.
like that winner day. So
And speaking of like story, of course we've been having the Will Ospreay story with as he goes more towards leaning with the Death Rider. Yeah, leaning with the Death Riders. We had Samoa Joe of the Ops trying to get Will on his side, and obviously that led to them clashing in the Owen Hart's quarterfinals. Ospreay versus Joe. And how do y'all keep falling for the Samoa Joe walkway every time? I ask myself that question all the time. Like, do y'all not expect it? I would be like, hey, like, but no, I told y'all, Will Ospreay is going all the way to the end. There's no way. There's no way that you don't. There's no doubt in my mind that you don't have Will Ospreay versus MJF at Wembley at all.
mhm.
Like this match, while entertaining and really really fun, was also very easy to decide. Same way how Swerve Strickland versus Bandito was really easy to decide. Because you know who else, as soon as I saw they were on the other side of the bracket, was like, oh, he's going to the finals. Swerve Strickland. Why? Because why would you not at Forbidden Door want to run back one of the greatest matches to ever happen at Forbidden Door? Swerve versus Osprey. Like, I don't know about you, but that to me was kind of easy as pie. But two very, very solid matches. Like, I can't complain. I would like to see Bandito get a more. I was really hoping that Bandito would drop the title during ROH Supercard of Honor so that way he could be on Dynamite full time. Like, hey, man, my man still got championship gold. He's still a world champion. And hopefully he can pick up a definitive win actual feat sometimes. Because I said it last year, Bandito is the best wrestler for the men, bell to bell act. Uh, let's see. Let's, let's see. Do you want to talk about the women's four way real quick?
I didn't watch the match, to be pretty honest.
All right, that's cool. Um, all I will say is that Hikaru Shida and Chris Statlander have officially broken ties. We're going to talk about it a little bit more when we talk Dynamite and Collision, but really, really dope. Tekla retained. I thought it was really, really solid match. I would like to. I'm not a huge Jamie Hayter fan, but this match did make you want to see Jamie Hayter get another run with the championship belt after the Brawling Birds are officially done. And then we had the Stadium Stampede match, Jericho, the Hurt Syndicate, and the Elite One against the Demand, the Dogs, and Don Cal's family. I thought it was fun. I always liked the idea, the concept of Stadium Stampede. I think that's always interesting, really cool to see. Um, then, of course, let's get down to the meat and potatoes of it. JF versus Darby Allin, the AEW Women's World Championship. Now, Sears, I know this match broke your heart. I know it broke your heart. So I'm just gonna let you have this one. Man. Go ahead.
It was a good match. I mean, we knew we knew it was coming after Darby Allen did like what 4 or 5 hair defenses in a row. Wait, 5, 6
Mhm.
actually. Now I think about it, like
Yeah.
just tearing his body apart like that. Of course, MGF became a 3-time AEW World Champion. Good match. It's solid. It was a good effort on all around. But the end, Tony Khan,
Go on, talk to him. Talk to him.
Tony, I had 2 demands last week for this match.
He only had two. Only had two, TK.
I don't ask too much, right?
Hmm.
I feel like I like most things you put out. Not as of late, right? I asked for this one not be a squash match, which you delivered on. Thank you for that.
Hmm.
And this was so early, I could see it more of this in it in like a minute.
Oh yeah.
But I also asked you not in this match for the headlock takedown. And how did you do it? You end the match with the headlock takedown for the fourth time between these guys. Fourth time between two
Not
pillows.
first, not second, not third, fourth.
Fourth time between these two guys. Between two of your pillows of your company. If not your two biggest pillows of your company, according to what you guys built around these guys. Right? The two futures, the two current stars of your company, right? For the world
Mhm.
title in the main event of one of your big old pay views. So why the fuck did you end it like this, my guy? That was like one complaint of the entire pay per view for
Mhm.
your company. It's this headlock takedown.
Not-
The
I'm not gonna
hell are
lie.
we doing?
As soon as I was watching it, dog, the first thing I thought was, "Damn, Spears about to be so pissed."
I asked for 2 things. You delivered on one. for a
They get
headlock
you right on work.
takedown for your world championship for the third time. Fourth time treating them, but for the third time for the world title. Second time we chain hands with a headlock
Yeah,
takedown.
yeah.
What are you doing? Like I get, yeah. MJF is the bigger star, and he is a bigger star to be champion of All In. Definitely is the case of like Osprey being the man I take to become champion next. Like that makes sense to have your biggest heel lose one of your biggest faces in his home country. I think your biggest event, but it's like why like this? Like you could have had Darby Allin like just not give up, have him pass out. You know, like like to the point of, like his body couldn't take it anymore. But you have him lose a
I mean,
headlock
shoot,
takedown. Oh
he got fucking cracked open. Like, mind you,
yeah,
The New York State Commission or whatever told them to not do intentional bleeding. So when he got his head split open, I think it was after the package pile driver or something like that. That was real. That's actually blood. And the fact that he was able to not miss a spot, like, shout out to Dom.
I don't know, dude. It is what it is. We have a new champion, but like I'm just so tired of these headlock takedown like endings. Like even my cat upset about it as he's been meowing about it. Like, why, Tony? Why? You're doing so good. This is the one scratch. But
Nah,
the
man.
end
But
but the
I was like,
ending,
the ending. The ending. Let's talk about the ending. Um, so, ladies and gentlemen, before I say this, let me just say, you will never get to turn against Kevin. Never in your fucking life. That is Kevin Knight runs out here trying to save Darby Allin. I say save in quotations um, for all my people who are listening purely on audio. Trying to save Darby Allin. And then he proceeds to get up to the top turnbuckle. And then UFO splash Darby Allin while he is getting stretched out. Pause. I mean, while he is getting taken away on the stretcher. Pause. That was two completely different meanings. But Kevin Knight is now officially a heel. And I love it. I love it. And this is how you make a star. Because not only does, like Sears said, one of your biggest baby faces now drops the belt to your biggest heel in MJF. But you now use one of your biggest up and coming stars to turn heel by absolutely murdering your one of your top baby faces, cementing the kill. Because not only did he hit the UFO splash on him on the stretcher, but he also flipped the stretcher over. Hey, what did Sears? What the kids say? Absolute cinema. What you think of the turn? What you think of the moment? Like, what was your immediate reaction?
it was. I was shocked because like I didn't expect them to end it like that. To be honest,
Mm,
so I think that's it was a really good ending because it was no. I mean, we all saw it coming. We just didn't expect it to happen like that. And obviously, we know what happened on Wednesday leading up to it, following it up. But it's like Kevin Nash as a heel champion, I think is an idea that I can get behind,
mm.
and I'm going to treat on like intrigued on how it goes. Uh, but like, and like they have potential to be like a probably like a all in story between the two of them.
Oh,
Uh,
absolutely. I could definitely see Darby versus Kevin Nash or something like that.
which I think will only help establish Kevin Nash even further as a heel, and just have to add one of the top guys in the company. Uh, honestly, and I think if you're trying to make him one of your top heroes in the company, it makes sense that you have him from Darby Allin, who is beloved. Definitely after that insane one he had with the belt, I would have thought it would have came on this fence. It would have happened with the with force attacking Speedball. But
Yeah, so
I think this had a bigger impact.
yeah, no. And I'm not gonna lie, the reasoning was justified. You touched on it a little bit, but hey, Darby, he warned you. He said, "Don't fuck up, don't mess it up." You messed it up. But let's keep the AEW train going, and let's talk about AEW what happened last night. Because again, we are recording this on Thursday, so we had a 3 hour presentation between Dynamite and Collision. It starts off with actually Kevin Knight coming out and explaining that the reason why he attacked Darby Allin was just like I said. He warned him, and Darby Allin couldn't get the job done. And so basically, Kevin was saying that, hey, you can't get the job done. That opportunity should have gone to me. I was the last person who pinned MJF. I should be the one that should have had that title match at Double or Nothing. And then Speedball comes out. Speedball says, hey, man, it's okay. You can still be redeemed. What does Kevin do to Speedball? He takes that mic, he turns it upside down, and clocks Speedball over the head with it. I love it. I love it. I will never give me to turn my back on Kevin Knight. Never. Never. I like this version of Kevin. Because not only is he clocking people over the head, and is he actually verbally assaulting folks, like he said, fuck the Sixers. I'm sorry, man. Like they were in Philly. I love that move. I really that was funny. I was like, yes, Kevin, go for the cheap heat. I don't care. Do it. I'm like, fuck. You ever see that video from fucking Star Wars where Darth Sidious is just going, do it, do it. That's
Do
me.
it. Yeah.
Yes. Oh man. But no, what do you think of the segment overall? Because like you said, it was very unexpected when the turn happened on Sunday. So one of my biggest like moments heading into last night was just how the fuck do they explain this? Like, where is this gonna go? And so I thought it was really dope that they opened the show.
I think. I mean, it was only right. It was only right way to, or it was only right way to open the show. If they did anything else besides this, they would have won.
Yeah,
Like the fact that they even had that like Kenny Omega Raw face segment before this, I
yeah,
believe, was wrong. Like like you don't end your one of your biggest shows of the year, and you don't start without starting the show with that. You don't end one of your biggest shows of the year that in that manner without it being the start of the next episode of the next show. So it's
yeah.
like we knew it was gonna happen. Like people are like innocent, go happy guy. Of course, you're gonna try to come out and try to talk to Kevin, bring Kevin Knight to his senses, and obviously, as you do, they don't listen. So I think it's a good. I think this is a good build up. I mean, it was a good. It was good. It was a good start, and like I want to say, I see them to go. 'Cause I think this is what people need to be taken more seriously.
Yeah.
Uh, and so I'm really excited to see them go at it. But I thought the second was great.
No, I think so too. But dude, it's something about seeing Kevin Knight. He came out first off, came out in the turtleneck, gold chain. You feel me? Little. I'm not sure if they were Cartier buffs or whatever. He had the little sunnies on. My boy was just talking different, acting different. He said, "Yeah, we getting right to it. Getting right to it." I'm excited because we also have the match next week of Speedball versus Kevin for the TNT Championship. Obviously, I see Kevin retaining, but I think it's going to be super, super fun to see this turn into a whole feud. But man, that was going to be really, really fun. What is next? Let's talk about the MJF celebration segment because obviously, the man himself had to come out to celebrate being a three-time world champion before the age of 30, or at the age of 30, I should say. Even though he beat your boy for it, what'd you think of the segment? I know you had a little bit of bias. We probably still seasoned a little bit, but what'd you think?
I thought it was kind of lackluster. I mean, honestly, it was a typical MJF segment. And I don't know if it's because I'm upset about Delgado not being champion anymore. Or I don't know if it's because I'm just kind of blown out from NGF being champion. Of what? Because like all these title reigns have been pretty much close together. I think definitely his last two. But it's like
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I'm feeling a little bit of MJF fatigue at this point. Like, I feel like he can get away for a little bit, be fine.
Mm.
Uh, Obviously the semi was interrupted by Mark Briscoe saying that he beat him, so he deserved a title shot. And MJF being he is, he said, no, you haven't earned it, which he's not wrong.
Yeah.
But West comes out and demands a title shot for and gets one for next week, which I was kind of shocked about because I wasn't that's not your typical MJF manual. Uh, and I think that would be a good match, but I feel like the segment myself, I feel like it was just kind of lackluster. It was lackluster.
Yeah. I thought the Roosh part was a little bit random, but I understand the reasoning because he was next for a title shot if Darby had retained. So like I get it.
Mhm.
Um, Mark Briscoe coming out. We
That
just
felt
did the
random.
that felt random as fuck because we just did the Mark Briscoe MJF beef, guys. Like we just went through like what 7 matches back to back of the two of them.
Mhm.
Like, dude, we have like it's like less than a year because I think the last match between the two of them was maybe December. Let's say so.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, like so it's not even a year yet, and we're already spinning the block on this. Like, dude, we gotta. Are there like I get it. You don't want to do Kenny yet. You're saving Will for All In. Like we have other main eventers or build up some people. Like I get it. You probably don't want to do Swerve just yet, but there are other people. Like there are honestly Tommaso Ciampa. I would have understood that more. What the fuck is Tommaso doing attacking Jericho? Like even if you wanted to, hey, hey, Andrade's been wanting a world title shot. They teased that. That could have been it. That I would have preferred that more. Like shit. Even if fucking MJF wanted to go and yell at Don Callis or something for some reason, then Okada's like, "Hey, I want a shot." I would take that. Like I don't know. I
Yeah,
feel like you have too deep of a men's division so for us to just be running back like old feuds like this. It's absolutely wild to me. But honestly, who would you have rather had in that spot?
mm. Um, Andrade makes sense storyline wise because they've been teasing that a little bit when he was a champion. Well, like they were teasing that. Uh, I think Rush is the right choice just because he's on a hot streak as of late. Uh, Kenny Omega, honestly, like
They might have to pull the trigger on Kenny. Like,
yeah.
even though we just did that for Dynasty,
Oh,
I mean,
we did, didn't we? Yeah. Uh,
I feel like it would only make sense to do it again so soon because of the segment. Will Ospreay literally said, "Hey, don't lose your eye on that world title." So unless they're teasing that Kenny Omega is going to be his first opponent, that's the only way I
well,
see it.
we already know that he has a match with Bush for next week.
No, no, no. I mean Kenny Omega once Will gets it after
Well,
All Out.
I think that's like his fourth big one. I think, but like I think it's so obvious that MJF is a transitional champion going like between now and All In and Wembley.
True.
Like, so there's just no direction for him. And I will say again, the only reason that he got the belt again
but so that a heel can lose it to Osprey and his in Osprey's hometown. Like,
Probably.
you're not gonna do a face versus face for it. So you're gonna do a face versus a heel.
Yeah.
So like, I guess if he's gonna keep the title on TV, sure, we can keep Briscoe again. But it's like I agree with you. It's like at this point we should be putting new people in uh well it's like I mean Speedball. You can do Speedball and have kind of
Yeah.
like in a
You could do
feel.
speed.
You
You
can
could do speedball.
do who
You could do
else can you do? You
speedball.
can do
You could do Tommaso. If you want to give someone young a title opportunity, let's do Ace Austin. Hell, you could give one.
King, Bandito, like
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
I wouldn't even mind them because even though they did MJF Bandito like the last reign, I wouldn't mind them running that back because that was just a showcase match. That was because he won the Dynamite reign. Like I wouldn't mind if they ran that back now with an actual story, you know?
mhm. Well, like honestly, like I don't think between now and on, you're gonna have one or two major stories, and then like maybe like or like a couple of smaller ones. Like so, like, that's the issue they're running into now. Is they don't have time to build like a proper full challenger because they only made the situation of the Owen Hall Foundation winner getting a shot at OM. So they just don't have time to build like a good a lot like a. They have time for like one.
Yeah, that's fair. Um, Speaking of short stories, we also had Edge and Christian bring back the 5 second pose celebration segment, which I thought was really dope. Really fun piece of nostalgia, knowing that they brought it back only for the dogs to come out. And I don't want this feud between them and the dogs to last long. I really don't. That's just because I'm a known dogs hater, or I'm at least not a huge fan of Gabe Kidd and Clark Connors. But I'm fine with David Finlay. I'm not really. I don't have any hate against David Finlay. But I thought it was really funny. I thought it was real. The dynamic of Edge and Christian at this stage of their career, it seems like the two of them are just trying to have fun. Like we
Mhm.
said earlier, Christian got his hands fucked up, like fucked up. So that was really fun to see. And I think it'll be an exciting match. I like that they're going against a bunch of young teams. So again, I don't want this to be like a full drawn out thing. I don't want this to take up the majority of what I'm assuming is probably their last run together, but I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be cool.
Yeah, I agree. I think the dogs just like the first challenge was up, but I mean, I'm just excited to see them. Like honestly, I'm excited for this new tag champs in general, but it's like all these fresh opponents they can have. I'm excited to see.
Yeah, same here. And then we had the Kyle Fletcher segment also, where basically him and Takeshita have challenged each other for what I'm assuming is the international championship.
Mhm.
They haven't set a date for it yet, but it seems like they're kind of building towards that. And basically, Kyle was saying, "Hey, I'm the only golden son here in the Don Callis family. Like, what you really gonna do about it?" Like you said, I think if we're talking the future AEW, this is going to be a beef to watch.
I agree.
Let's see. Was there anything else crazy? Oh, keeping up with the Owen Harts real quick. Um, Mark Davis got the win over Jack Perry,
Yeah,
and
Brody King over
yeah,
Casanova. Casanova.
yep. So now it's going to be Mark Davis versus Will Ospreay and Brody King versus Swerve Strickland in the semis. That's going to be cool. We didn't have,
Going back to like so like both matches have like stories with each other too. Davis,
yeah,
United Empire, and then obviously we know about Brody King and Swerve. So
exactly. So that's going to be real fun to see. Um, I do like the fact that TJ is back. I like the fact that they're back, and it looks like the Divine Divinity is actually going to have an actual story for the women's tag belts. I think it's going to be cool. Shout out to Chris Statlander and Hikaru Shida for having an amazing match on Collision.
Hmm.
Dude, that light tube spot, insane. And then Andrade, Ace Austin. I thought this was going to be a quick and easy squash match for Andrade, but it was actually a banger. A banger. They actually let them cook, so shout out to them. Anything you wanted to say about Collision and Dynamite before we get to our predictions?
Let's go, TJ. Tag champs. Let's go. If I can't have Darby, I need TJ to win.
Real quick, let's get into our predictions for Clash of Italy. Femi versus Brock Lesnar. Who you got?
I feel like, mm, I feel like Lesnar, and then we get the Ford at SummerSlam.
Even though I feel like there's a rubber match coming, you will never hear me say out my words, I support this man, so I'm going to Femi. Um, Now, Becky Lynch versus Sol Ruka for the women's IC title. Who we got?
So we go.
I'll take Sol Ruka. Yeah, I'm gonna go Sol Ruka on this one. Rhea Ripley, Jade Cargill for the WWE Women's Championship.
Quickly.
Mommy's always on top, man. I got Rhea Ripley going for this one. It's too early. Cody Rhodes versus Gunther for the WWE Undisputed Championship.
Rose with a Tony Orton.
I will go Gunther just to split the decision on this one. I'm hoping that Creative wants to do something exciting with the championship scene around. Now, I will say Randy Orton could interfere, cost Cody the title. I can see that. Roman Reigns versus Jacob Fatu, Tribal Combat for the World Heavyweight Belt.
Fatu.
I'm gonna go Fatu too. All right. So those are our predictions for Clash of Italy, ladies and gentlemen. And once again, thank you guys so much for watching us. This is episode 48 of the Top Rope Boys podcast. Like always, it's the EST, the DMV, the Chocolate City Saint, Ray the S Superstar, the Potter of All Worlds, the Left Hand Destruction, El Misterio Negro, the 301's Golden Sun, the G Town Giant. Am I missing anything?
Oh, you missed it. You're
Who cares?
Big Man. Kimberly and Mel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Beijing Bulldogs, the Cameroon and Nightmare. Thank you. I can't forget those two.
Chocolate City Saint.
Oh, I am the Chocolate Saint. Hold on, always, forever. But this is episode 48 of the Top Rope Boys podcast. Please make sure to follow us on all platforms at TOPROPEBOYZ on all platforms at Top Rope Boys Pod on Twitter, I think too. So, Sears, what you got to say to the people before we get on up out of here?
Thank you all for listening, watching. Whether you actually your podcast, actually your podcast is at. Follow us on social media. Make sure you take care of yourselves. Find what makes you happy. But God forbid, work doesn't make us happy. And with that, I pass. Deuces.
Deuces, guys. Like always, this is episode 48, and we are over.